Have you ever felt that constant push, that feeling you just have to keep going?
Oh, absolutely.
Even when you're totally exhausted or maybe dealing with something really heavy, because stopping just feels wrong.
Yeah, like it's failure or something. And then if you do think about taking a break, that little voice pops up.
Exactly. The guilt voice. Shouldn't you be doing something? Isn't this lazy, selfish even?
It's almost everywhere in our culture now, that feeling, isn't it? This deep sense of guilt about just pausing, like slowing down is some kind of weakness.
Totally. And that's the big paradox we're really diving into today. What if the key to being truly strong, truly resilient, isn't about pushing harder?
What if it's about learning how to actually hit pause?
Yes. That's our mission to this deep dive. We want to unpack the surprising science, but also the cultural wisdom behind why downtime isn't just nice to have.
It's essential, like a powerful act of taking care of yourself, preserving yourself, really.
And finding more energy, more actual joy in life because of it.
That's spot on. We've looked at some really compelling stuff, personal stories, people battling that guilt, fascinating science on sleep and the brain.
And even these ancient philosophies from around the world that actually champion doing nothing.
Right. And the message that comes through loud and clear from all of it, rest is the foundation for your mind, your body, your emotions, everything.
Okay, so let's tackle it head on. This struggle to just stop. Why is it so hard? What's the real cost of being always on?
Well, a big part of it, and our sources really highlight this, is how we've tangled up productivity with our actual self-worth.
If you're not visibly doing something.
Yeah, there's this sneaky feeling that your value just drops. It's a real trap.
A powerful one.
And for a lot of people, especially women, there's this added pressure, this feeling of being responsible for everyone else's well-being too.
So taking time for yourself feels like you're letting someone down.
Exactly, which leads to this huge guilt when you even think about slowing down. It feels like you should always be available, always giving. It's a direct path to, burnout.
I was really struck by this one personal story we came across. Someone who went through just immense grief.
Oh, yeah.
Lost 3 pets, a family member, all within 3 months.
Yeah.
And they just kept pushing, kept creating content, doing all the normal stuff, believing they were, processing it.
But they weren't really.
No, the wake-up call was realizing they were completely empty, drained, irritable, just hollowed out. They admitted they'd fallen back into this old habit of not dealing with feelings because it felt inconvenient.
And the guilt about not being productive enough just piled on top.
Right. It just hammers home how deep that guilt runs, even when you're facing huge personal loss. It's like the need to produce overrides everything.
That story really hits hard. It shows how easily we can just ignore what our bodies are screaming at us. And those warning signs of exhaustion, we often brush them off, don't we?
Yeah. Oh, I'm just a bit tired.
But they're actually massive red flags. Beyond just feeling tired all the time, there are other signs, like persistent brain fog, finding it really hard to remember things.
Or maybe snapping at people more.
Yeah.
Feeling more irritated or angry or just kind of sad. You can't quite pin down why.
Definitely. Or just having no energy for things you normally enjoy. Or, get this, actually nodding off during the day when you're not sick. That's a big one.
These aren't just small things, are they?
Not at all. And you can add changes in appetite, that constant feeling of stress humming underneath everything, weird aches and pain.
Or just feeling numb, like apathy towards things you used to care about.
Exactly. If any of that sounds familiar to you, it's not just being busy. It's a serious signal that you are desperately missing deep, restorative rest.
So, okay, if we ignore these signs, keep pushing, what are the long-term consequences? Sounds pretty serious.
It really is. Ignoring that basic need for rest, it has these cascading effects, mentally and physically.
Yeah.
Burnout, like we said, that's almost inevitable if you keep pushing nonstop.
And that burnout fuels chronic stress.
Right. Which messes with your mood, your immune system. It can lead to ongoing anxiety, really low energy, and makes you more vulnerable to getting physically sick.
And mentally, it can get even worse. I read that constantly overriding your need for rest can seriously wear down your resilience.
It absolutely can, to the point where it could contribute to things like clinical depression or, in really extreme situations, even thoughts of self-harm. It just shows how vital rest actually is.
Wow, that's sobering.
It's a stark reminder. Rest isn't just about feeling good. It's fundamental to staying healthy and physically. The research is clear. Chronic lack of sleep increases your risk for high blood pressure, diabetes, obesity, heart attack, stroke. even some cancers.
And our brains take a hit too, right? There was that fact that just blew my mind.
Ah, yeah, the 17-hour thing.
Yes, after just 17 hours of being awake, your cognitive impairment can be like someone with a blood alcohol level of 0.05%.
Which is the legal driving limit in many places.
Yeah. It's staggering. It means you're basically functioning as if you're impaired if you pull an all-nighter or even just have a really long day.
Exactly. So it's no wonder our attention, our learning, memory, decision-making, creativity, it all suffers hugely when we're tired.
And it feels like our phones and devices are just pouring gasoline on this fire.
They absolutely are. Our digital habits are a massive part of this always-on problem.
Right.
The blue light from screens, especially late at night,
Yeah.
it suppresses melatonin. That's the hormone that tells your body it's time to sleep. So it messes up our natural sleep cycle, our circadian rhythm.
Which isn't just about falling asleep, right? It affects other things too.
Yeah, it's linked to things like blood sugar issues and a higher risk of metabolic diseases. It's not trivial.
And what about relationships? Staring at screens instead of connecting.
Well, yeah, we often use devices as a crutch, right? Which can weaken our real-world connections. That definitely feeds into feelings of loneliness and anxiety for some people.
And there's that fascinating point about breathing. How we actually change how we breathe when we're looking at our devices.
Oh, right. That's crucial. Unconsciously, a lot of us start taking really shallow breaths or even kind of hold our breath when we're scrolling or checking emails.
Seriously.
Yeah. And that triggers the body's fight or flight response, so it keeps stress hormones like cortisol elevated. Our devices aren't just mentally draining us.
They're physically putting us into stress mode.
Exactly. Chronically.
Okay, wow. So we've laid out the problem, the high cost of this nonstop life. But here's where it gets like hopeful and really interesting.
The solution.
Yeah. What if the answer isn't about finding ways to do more, but actually doing less?
Yeah.
Intentionally.
The art and science of downtime. It sounds almost rebellious in our culture, doesn't it? Doing nothing.
Totally. But the idea is that this doing nothing can actually make you more productive, more creative.
Because your brain actually needs it. It thrives on rest, on reflection, even on what feels like wasted time. And the science really does back this up.
And it's not even a new idea. I was fascinated by how different cultures have valued these pauses for ages, like the Italians. Dolce far niente.
Ah, the sweetness of doing nothing. It's beautiful, isn't it?
It really is. It's about savoring the moment, treating leisure like it's sacred.
Right. It's not about laziness. It's about consciously enjoying that coffee, taking that walk with no goal other than just being there, soaking it in.
Rediscovering joy in just like the warmth of the sun or the taste of something delicious.
Yeah. From that view, productivity isn't just about output. Sometimes it's about that deep reset you get from slowing down.
And then there's the Japanese concept of ma, the pause, or the gap.
That's about appreciating the space between things, the emptiness that actually allows beauty and meaning to come through.
Like an art or a tea ceremony, that moment of quiet.
Precisely. Ma suggests that balance isn't just constant motion. It's the rhythm between doing and, well, not doing. Leaving those gaps in your day to just breathe or reflect, it can bring so much clarity.
And then the Dutch have Nixon.
Which is wonderfully straightforward.
Right. Just doing nothing. Purposefully idle. Staring out the window, lounging around with zero agenda.
And crucially, guilt-free. The point isn't even to meditate or solve problems in your head. It's just to be. To exist without an obligation for a moment.
It's such a direct challenge to that whole hustle culture mentality.
These aren't just quaint ideas. They're like blueprints for mindfulness, for being present. They all point towards embracing these unstructured moments that actually fuel us.
Okay, so if doing nothing isn't lazy, what's happening in our brains? What's the science behind why it helps creativity and well-being?
This is where it gets really cool. It involves something called the default mode network, or DMN. Neuroscience shows that when your mind is idle, when it's wandering and not focused on a task, that's when the DMN kicks in.
And what does the DMN do?
It's huge. It handles things like consolidating memories, self-reflection, deep creativity, and complex problem solving, those aha moments. They often come from the DMN when you're not trying so hard, like in the shower or driving or just spacing out.
So our brain isn't off. It's actually working differently, connecting ideas in new ways.
Exactly. It's like mental free play. And even just simple daydreaming has been shown to boost problem solving because it lets your brain explore possibilities without rigid constraints.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah.
And what about emotionally? How does doing nothing help there?
Well, think of it like a release valve. When stress just keeps building and building, managing emotions gets really hard. Intentional idleness, even just short breaks for mindful breathing or looking out the window,
Yeah.
science shows it lowers stress hormones like cortisol. So it doesn't just ease tension in the moment, it makes you more emotionally resilient overall,
Right.
better equipped to handle things.
Okay, this all sounds amazing, powerful. But how do you actually do it? How do you make space for nothing when the guilt monster immediately shows up? Let's get practical.
Right. Practical strategies. The key is often starting small, micro breaks, and focusing on that mind-body connection. Deep breathing is huge and so simple.
Like belly breathing, just focusing on your stomach rising and falling.
Yeah, it's incredibly grounding. It quickly calms your nervous system, or the 4-7-8 breath.
In for 4, hold for 7, out for 8.
Yep. Fantastic for slowing your heart rate, really good for relaxing, especially before trying to sleep.
Okay, what else?
Journaling can be incredibly effective, even just a simple daily practice. Ask yourself, what am I feeling today? And then, the important part, what, if anything, do I need to feel better?
That puts you back in the driver's seat. It helps you actually process the emotions instead of just stuffing them down.
Exactly. And affirmations can help tackle that guilt head on. Saying things to yourself like, I deserve to rest, or taking care of myself lets me care better for others.
Giving yourself permission.
Yes. Intentionally shifting that internal narrative. And exercise, but the right kind of exercise.
Right, not something that just drains you more.
Exactly. Something energizing, but not overstimulating. A walk in nature, maybe dancing, some gentle yoga or stretching, whatever feels genuinely good and restorative to you.
Finding your own rhythm with it. So beyond those immediate things, what about the bigger habits? Sleep and our digital lives.
Ah, yes. Crucial areas. Resetting your sleep needs a real routine. A pre-bed ritual.
Like dimming the lights way before bed.
Definitely. Dimming lights, maybe switching from screens to a real book, doing some deep breaths or gentle stretches. Eating dinner a bit earlier can help too.
Aromatherapy. A warm bath.
All great ideas. And one technique I love is just writing down your worries before bed. Get them out of your head and onto paper so they don't keep swirling.
That's smart. And the digital side. The phones.
The digital detox. It doesn't have to be extreme. Start with designated screen-free times each day. Maybe put your phone on airplane mode when you're actually spending time with people.
Be present.
Yeah. And that digital curfew is really important. Aim for 1 or 2 hours screen-free before bed to avoid that blue light messing with your melatonin. Give your brain a chance to wind down naturally.
And you also mentioned adjusting your sleep environment.
Right, briefly, just making sure your bedroom is dark, quiet, and cool enough can make a surprising difference to sleep quality.
And sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes we need more help, right? It's not just about individual techniques.
Absolutely. We have to be honest about seeking external support when we need it. That might mean therapy to work through deeper issues.
Or practical help, like getting help with chores or childcare.
Yes. Or even planning a holiday that's genuinely about relaxation, not just cramming in activities. It's about identifying what's really draining your energy and finding ways to get support to lessen that load.
So thinking bigger picture then, this always-on culture feels so massive. Can individual actions really fix it?
Well, individual actions are vital for our well-being, but no, they can't fix the whole system alone. The problem is too ingrained.
So we need broader changes too.
Definitely. Our sources point towards things like public health campaigns focused on sleep, employers creating guidelines that genuinely support rest, maybe even teaching kids in school about sleep hygiene and the importance of downtime.
Treating rest with the same importance as diet and exercise at a societal level.
Exactly. It needs to be recognized as a fundamental pillar of health.
So if we can manage that shift, individually and maybe eventually culturally, what's the ultimate takeaway here? What's the big reward for embracing rest?
I think the most profound lesson is this. Embracing rest isn't being lazy or indulgent. It's actually a strategic investment in yourself. A really smart one.
It's the foundation.
It's the foundation for resilience, for having sustainable energy. It's what allows you to actually show up fully with patience, with focus, with real presence for the things that truly matter.
Your relationships, your work, your own sense of joy.
All of it.
So here's a thought to leave you with. In this world that's always asking for more, how can you start to redefine what productivity means by making space for intentional doing nothing?
What's one small pause, just one you could claim for yourself this week? And what might happen if you did? What energy, what insight might come from just stopping?
Something to really reflect on. We hope this deep dive gives you some food for thought on integrating that intentional rest into your own life.
Towards more energy and definitely more joy.